Hey, I was just remembering something and I wanted to tell you about it. I was remembering when my first daughter was born. I had just one little baby instead of all these 6 big people that I have now. I was remembering how before she was born, I would do things like go to Target or the grocery store or like the movie theater just on a whim, right? I would just be like, hey, you want to go to the movies tonight? Let's see what's playing. And then we would go. And it was amazing. I didn't realize it was amazing at the time. It just was like life. And then this baby was born. And then after the baby's born, there's not so much of that, like, I'm just gonna run out for the heck of it, right? The baby's born, and then suddenly it's like, I want to go to Target. So you know what I'm gonna do to go to Target is I'm gonna pack a bag and I'm gonna get the extra diapers and the extra wipes and the little hat and like an extra little hat in case I lose the hat, because somehow I always lost the hats, and little booties and a blanket in case she gets cold or like to snuggle her while she's nursing, and burp cloths because if there's nursing there's gonna be like a whole lot of spit up. Oh, and then I better get a spare outfit for her, maybe an extra sweater because if she spits up it's gonna go all over all of that. And then maybe I should get an extra sweater for me. And then while I'm packing the bag, actually wait, she's hungry, so I have to stop packing the bag and feed the baby. And then change the baby's shirt, because once she ate, then she's gonna spit up. And then, okay, so we change the baby, back to packing the bag. And I think, I'll grab an extra spit up cloth because of that. And then I have to find my sunglasses, which are around here somewhere. I know they are. And by the time I get the bag packed, an hour has passed somehow from the time that I was like, I'm going to Target. But now I have the bag. And as you're going out the door, what inevitably happens then is just you have like your hand on the doorknob and you're about to go out, baby poops, and it's like all diaper blowout situation where it's all up her back and in her hair, and you're like, what even just happened? So you can't just like change her. There's like the changing and the bathing and the washing her hair, and by the time you're done with all that, then like I need to be changed and washed, and by the end of that it's like, you know what, Target just, it's not even that appealing anymore. Like maybe some other day we can live without coffee filters or whatever maybe it was going to be that would have gotten at Target. Because suddenly, right, whereas a couple of weeks before that, I could have just gone to Target, suddenly I didn't feel like I was in control of my own life anymore, right? I had this little 8-pound person whose needs suddenly had interrupted my whole idea of control, right? What I had to learn then, and what I'm remembering now, is that I was never in control in the first place, right? Control is not a real thing. We are not in control of anything. We like to think we are, but the truth is we're not, right? I'm not even in control of my own body, right? I can't control if my body gets sick or stays healthy. I can't control if my body falls asleep when I lay down in bed at night. I can help, but I can't control it, right? And the idea that we can control stuff, when we really believe that, we grasp onto stuff and we try to hold stuff so tightly and force it because we want to make things happen the way we want them to happen. If we're in control, we ought to control it to make it all good, right? But the truth is we're not in control, and trying to control things we cannot control just makes us anxious, right? We just get stuck with this anxiety of trying to like force it all to be how it's supposed to be, and then it's not turning out how we want it to. And it never ends well. It's always awful. So the thing I had to learn then, and the thing I'm remembering now, is I'm not in control, and I don't have to be. That is too heavy of a burden for me to carry, to be in control of the world. I'm not. What I am, though, is I am in charge, right? I am the grown-up in charge of my own life, and I'm in charge of a whole bunch of things within that sphere, right? I am in charge of what I put on my body this morning, and it is the 2nd day of spring, so I am wearing a springy shirt. I am in charge of whether I remind my kids to get outside and get some fresh air, which they are doing right now, which is why I can do this without a whole lot of interruption, but a whole lot of background noise that I can hear. I am in charge of whether I remember to eat lunch. I am in charge of what media I consume and how long I spend on my phone. I'm in charge of whether I pick up my phone first thing in the morning or if I do something else grounding first, so I'm in a good place before I ever check what's going on in my scroll or out in the world or etc. I'm in charge of how I spend that last hour before I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm in charge of whether I'm on my phone right before I go to sleep, or I'm looking at a screen, or if I'm reading a book, or if I'm talking with people in my household, I'm in charge of all of that. I'm in charge of whether I reach out to another person today and text them and say, hey, I'm thinking of you, or if I set up a call to talk to somebody, or how I'm connected to other people. I'm in charge of that, about at least my part of it, whether I reach out and whether I try. I'm in charge of what kinds of media I'm consuming right now. I'm in charge of my environment around me, whether I'm tidying things up, whether I am keeping things that don't need to be in that space, or if I go ahead and get rid of stuff that doesn't need to be there right now. I'm in charge of all of that. I'm in charge of a whole lot of things. I'm just not in control of any of them. So if you are feeling that right now, that anxiety of there are all these things that I cannot control, you're right, you can't. That's okay. What I want you to do right now is stop and make a list of 5 things that you are in charge of, right? Because you're in charge of a whole lot. So there's just 5 things that you are in charge of, and what you're gonna choose for those things that's gonna help you feel more peace right now, or more connection, or more of whatever it is that you want to be feeling right now. What can you choose within the things you're in charge of that will help you to feel how you want to feel right now? So for me, I always am wanting to feel more grounded, right? More settled, more peaceful. Maybe not always, but pretty darn often. I'm like, how can we have less of the anxiety, less of those kinds of feelings, and more peace and joy and calm and connection? So I'm going to choose within the things I actually am in charge of, how am I going to do that? So you know what? I feel more at ease and more put together in the morning if I get dressed. So I got dressed. Great. I was in charge of it and I did it, and it feels so good. I am in charge of what I'm going to be reading this afternoon. Do I want to be sitting and scrolling through news, or am I going to put that down and pick up a book? And I can tell you right now, I'm going to pick my book. I need a little break, and that's what I'm going to do, because I'm in charge of that. I'm in charge of whether I go outside this afternoon and get some fresh air on my face, some sunshine on my face and fresh air. And it's not raining today. It's been raining for a week at my house, which is bizarre for Southern California. We never get rain, and it's been pouring. But today it's not. So today I get to choose to go out there and have some sunshine. So there's some things I can choose that I absolutely am in charge of to feel better right now. So if you are also in that place of that spinning, everything's out of control, what are you in charge of? Because you are in charge of so much. And what choices are you gonna make within those things you are in charge of to feel how you wanna feel right now? I'd love to hear what are the things you are in charge of and what are the choices you're making that feel great. And we'll talk some more soon. And you know what? You're doing a great job. You really are. You are in charge of a ton of things within your sphere, and you're doing a great job with those things. I see you, and I know you're doing great. Just keep on doing that thing you're doing from hopefully in your own house, in your own space, with some distance from other people, and I'll talk to you soon.